Hey, welcome to the Mall of America here in Minnesota. I'm Chris with NETGEAR here with Sean and Ben. And you may be asking yourself, what the heck are you doing at the Mall of America? Well, we're here today because we're super excited. We just launched Orbi today, the super high power Wi-Fi system, and it's being featured here at the Best Buy Tech Home at the Mall of America. And the Tech Home is really just a great display of all the things that are out there that are smart today. Sean, why don't you go ahead? We're going to take a walk through the house, and I'm going to start showing you some things and show you Orbi. You can see as we walk in, up above, you might not see it, but Arlo wire-free is featured, and we've got an Arlo Q on the wall as well that we will be talking about in a second. And we have Orbi featured throughout the house. So this morning, so let me back up. NETGEAR is celebrating its 20th anniversary this year, and I have to imagine that within those 20 years, this is probably one of the most exciting announcements we made this morning about Orbi. AC3000 Wi-Fi system. So we know, you know us by NETGEAR Nighthawk, and a lot of people have a Nighthawk, and that's awesome. And we know about 85% of the folks out there that have Nighthawk, they get whole home coverage today the way it is. But what happens is that you move it over to the corner of the house, and now you have dead spots. So how do we address that? Well, with Orbi. And this is an Orbi right here. Sean, you can get a close-up of that. And the kit is two Orbis, the satellite and the router. And you can see it's high performance. We're essentially 2 to 3 times faster than comparable models out there as well. And we're going to show you that in a sec as well. And it's up to about 4,000 square feet. So no problems with coverage. I've had one of these. I've been testing it, and I was blown away by the performance. I mean, the speeds have been consistent. The coverage throughout my home has been incredible, and no drops, and I'm kind of what you would call a tech freak, I guess. So I've got a lot of connected devices, and I do a lot of streaming. I've not had any issues with this. But simply is all you do is you put one of the Orbis by your router, or your cable modem, or DSL gateway. And then you put a second one in the middle of your house. And it doesn't matter. It could be on the basement, middle floor, top of the floor, or the third floor. It really, a lot of the comparable Wi-Fi systems out there are what we call line of sight, that each box has to see itself. With Orbi, it doesn't have to do that. So you're good to go. And then we've created the secret sauce of Orbi is it's the world's first tri-band Wi-Fi system. So what does that mean to you? What it means is that we have a dedicated channel that essentially is talking from the satellite to the router. There's nothing else on there. So instead of having to carry other traffic, that's all it's doing, is allowing that speed between the two devices. As you can see, when we have just one device on an Orbi, we're roughly 2 times faster. About 550 megs down. But it gets even better when we add a third. We're about 3 times faster than others. Now, let's take a walk real quick. I'm gonna walk you, we're gonna go into the bedroom and take a quick look at the bedroom here. So you can see the Tech Home is open. People are checking it out, which is awesome. We're excited to be here. But we can see Orbi right here. And so for instance, this might be the center of your home. One of the great things I love about Orbi is if we look at the back, we've got 4 Ethernet ports here. So I could use this, I could put it in the center of my home theater and hardwire in my devices. How many people out there have streaming boxes, have smart TVs, right? There's so many connected devices nowadays. It's ridiculous. And they're all competing for time on the network. So let's head back over. The other awesome thing about Orbi is the ease of setup. So what we've designed is a prepared, really, mesh network. So out of the box, this is going to be very easy for people to set up. The people out there that have fear or they're scared to set up a network router, not an issue. You open it up, plug it in, and it walks you through it, either web-based or there will be an upcoming app that will be real easy to use and awesome. There's lights that light up on Orbi as well. It's going to tell you what it does. The blue means maximum speeds, you're good to go. Then if it has an amber halo, you're too far away. And the red means it can't connect to the router itself. And then we haven't forgotten about those Nighthawk fans out there. So a lot of you want finer control over your router. You want the high-end features. We've put that into Orbi. You can either choose it and have it be plug and play, which is awesome, it's cool. Or if you're like me and you're kind of a nerd, you want to go in and you want to get into the more detailed feature sets like QoS, parental controls. All of those things are going to be available, so we haven't forgotten about you. It's just most folks aren't looking for that type of fine control. They're happy just to be able to plug it in, it's prepared mesh, and done. And the other kind of secret sauce beyond that tri-band is, the cool thing about Orbi is it allows you to seamlessly roam throughout your home. So today, if I roam throughout my home, and my phone, for instance, it's going to hang on to that Wi-Fi signal as long as it can, as long as it sees a signal. Even if I'm right next to a different node, it's still going to hang on to it. And that's because the client or your phone, tablet, laptop dictates when to switch. What we've done is now we're controlling that. We're telling your phone or your tablet, your laptop, we're telling it when to switch to the satellite or to the router. And it's a seamless connection like that. So if I'm on a FaceTime chat, for example, and I'm walking, Orbi's constantly checking. It's saying, okay, it's stronger over here. We're going to move you over to this Orbi unit. Or you're good where you are. Whereas today, you might not have that experience. So 4,000 square foot home, I don't know, that's a pretty big house in the United States. And that's what two of these boxes are going to do, two of the Orbis. I wonder, have we coined the term Orbi yet for multiple Orbis? I don't know. I just did. I'm going to trademark that. So people back in San Jose, Orbi. And once again, thank you so much. We have so many hard-working teams back in San Jose, California, where our base is, where there's so much blood, sweat, and tears have gone into Orbi. And we're just so excited to be able to launch this today and to be a part of the Best Buy Tech Home as well. I think we're going to go over and take a quick look at Arlo. And Arlo's also featured at the Tech Home. And Arlo is the world's first and only 100% wire-free surveillance solution. We call it a smart security system. And there's two types of cameras. One is the Arlo wire-free, and that runs off a battery. So when I say wire-free, I mean truly wire-free. There's no cords, no wires. It's simply batteries. You get up to 6 months of battery life. And I think, Sean, we'll get a look at one. That's the Arlo Q that you're looking at right now. Arlo Q is specifically designed for indoor use. And that has two-way audio built into it, whereas Arlo wire-free does not. But with Arlo Q, you plug it into the wall. I can two-way audio, motion alerts are going to set off, and it's going to alert me right away on my phone. It's going to record the video, so I can go back in and look at it anytime if I want to download it, if it was something serious. I always tell people when I'm talking about these products, I have a dog, right? I can yell at my dog and be like, get off the couch, you dummy. Or if you have kids, hey, I'm running late. Go ahead and start dinner without me. Great examples of uses for Arlo. And if you take a look, we'll go in tight here, John, on the app itself. This is what the app looks like, so you can see all of your cameras. And you can see them real time, and you can control everything from the app. So you can see down here in the corner, that's live right now. I can make it bigger. And that's 1080p. Our low Q is 1080p and two-way audio. So I could freak these people out and yell at them, but I won't do that because I don't want to get in trouble. So we're also going to be taking questions here towards the end. If you have any questions, be sure to get those in online. Right now, though, I'm going to bring Pedro in. Pedro is a Best Buy Blue shirt, and he's one of the people who's staffing the smart home. I wanted to ask him some questions. And I apologize, I'm going to pull my mic here. Pedro, how are you doing?
Not too bad. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. Great. Thanks for taking the time to be with us today.
Absolutely. I'm glad you guys are here with us.
Yeah, it's exciting. It's fun.
It really has been. It's energizing, to say the least.
First off, how cool is Orbi?
Orbi is absolutely amazing. When we first heard about it, getting set up for the tech home, really blown away. I think one of my first questions that I asked you is, where was this? A few months ago, a few weeks ago. I've been waiting for something like this, and now it's finally here. So I'm really excited about it.
Awesome. So what are some of the misconceptions customers have when they come into a Best Buy and they go to connected home and connected device looking for a new router?
Yeah, I think the biggest misconception that I get with customers is that they think their poor Wi-Fi signal is just based off range. That their older Wi-Fi, their older router is good enough, it just doesn't reach far enough. And so they come in looking for range extenders, wanting a simple solution, when really they don't realize that, hey, this is going to create a second network. You're not going to have this seamless integration all throughout your home. And more often than not, their router is old. It doesn't have the capabilities to actually support their new devices. Doesn't have the speed, doesn't have the bandwidth. Overall, just doesn't stay connected for them. And so that's the biggest thing, is that range extenders and add-on devices don't work with pre-existing equipment all the time.
Sure. What about, look at this. If we look around, everything in here is connected. It's smart. And I come in and I'm looking at that $50 router, right? How's that going to work out for me if I purchase that and go home?
I mean, it's really not. A analogy that I like to use at work is, a $50 router, that might be like a back road, country road. Well, if you get a big high-end TV, that's like driving a semi on a back road, country road. That doesn't always work out well. It might go for a couple feet, but, gravel, not good for that. And that's really kind of the difference there. Actually having a highway in place to have all your devices connected from point A to point B is really ideal when you're driving, semis on them. And realistically, as you look around, that's what we have in here. Is we have a lot of really high-tech connected devices that we want to all drive together seamlessly on one highway.
Yeah. So the $50 router is a great fit for some people, right? But when you're talking about today's connected home, the average home, I think it's roughly 11 connected devices. Yeah. It's going to be 50 in the next 5 years, I believe. How important is that strong Wi-Fi backbone?
Oh, it's probably the most important device that we're realistically going to have in our homes. I mean, we can unplug a TV and use another TV. We can unplug a light and use another light. We unplug a router, everybody's mad. Everybody's upset. It really is the focal point of the connected home. It's what makes the home connected. So as we grow and add more devices and add more devices and add more devices, we need more substance. We need more to latch on to. And so really it's the backbone. It really is. It's what everything in the home wants to connect to, and we need to make sure it has a point to connect to.
Yeah, great. Anything you want to add I didn't ask, or anything you can think of other than that you love Orbi?
I really do. I can't wait to get my hands on one. Get my hands on one myself. Absolutely. So really excited that we're able to help you guys unveil it today and talk about it a lot more.
Yeah, they are available for pre-order as well.
Yep. Absolutely.
Great. All right. Thank you so much, Pedro. So just wanted to put the mic back on. I've known Pedro for a long time. He's a great guy, and he's been with Best Buy for a while. And he's kind of a nerd like me. He likes the guts and likes to dig in. And he's super excited about Orbi, just like all of us are. Sean, you want to head back over here real quick? I just wanted to show some other stuff on the Orbi. So they are available. Orbi is available for pre-order today. If you go to netgear.com/Orbi, there's options there for pre-order. And then the two Orbi kit is going to be $399.99 retail. But I just wanted to show it because no one wants to see me, I know, except for maybe my brother. But I just wanted to show you how sleek and awesome this thing is. It's so high power. There's like 6 antennas in here, and I'll tell you, I'm hard on my equipment, very hard on my equipment. And when I plugged this in and started testing it, it blew me away, and it takes a lot to impress me. And yeah, you can say, hey, you work for NETGEAR, you're biased. Yeah, of course I'm biased. But I'm also not going to stand up here and tell you it's something I don't believe in. And I truly believe in Orbi. I think it's going to revolutionize the whole home Wi-Fi system space. It's not a little hockey puck. You don't need 3 of them, okay? You just need 2, and that's 4,000 square feet. Don't need line of sight. So like I said earlier, they don't need to see each other to work. They just work seamlessly. And the simplicity is just fantastic. Even though I know how to set up networking equipment, it blew me away how easy this was. Like it knew what I wanted to do before I did it. So Ben, I wanted to check in real quick with Ben. He's also out here with us. Ben, do we have any questions yet? Okay. I thought my brother might call in, or my dog, right? I could pull up my dog on Arlo and we could yell at him if we wanted. But some of the big questions we're going to get on the Orbi are, how many can you have? Well, the 2-pack is 4,000 up to 4,000 square feet. So let's say you lived in a much larger home. You can simply buy the Orbi satellite and add it. And when you plug it in, once again, it's so simple. It just tells you how to do it, and it connects. So every 2,000 square feet additionally, you would just add an additional Orbi satellite. Other questions are the speeds, and what does that mean? Well, AC3000 is the fastest Wi-Fi system out there right now. And once again, we are the world's first and only tri-band with that dedicated channel. And I can't emphasize enough how important that 3rd channel is. The antennas are built into the inside of, so this is a question we just got. The antennas are inside, and there's actually 6 of them. They're hidden inside. We did that for aesthetics. I think this is actually pretty cool looking. I joked with our teams internally in San Jose, and because I'm a big, Nighthawk. I like Nighthawk, and huge fan. I love that mean, aggressive look. But when I saw the finished Orbi, it really did impress me, and just the function was incredible. But yeah, 6 internal antennas, and they're high power antennas. They're not like little janky antennas. So that's how we get that coverage, and that's how we get through walls, and that's why it doesn't have to be line of sight. But back to that 3rd channel that's consistently talking. Think of it as a super highway. So on comparable Wi-Fi systems today, they're dual band, mostly. And so at any given time, one of those channels has to transmit from the satellite back to the router, on top of all the devices that are talking to those satellites. So what happens is you get rush hour traffic, and it slows down. With Orbi, we have that dedicated super freeway. It's like being in the high occupancy lane, the HOV lane. So essentially, boom, you're in and you're going Mach 9, and you're passing everyone and waving at them like, hey, what's up? And they're just stuck and they look angry because they're in rush hour traffic. So gaming, online gaming, 4K streaming, multiple 4K streaming, HD streaming. How many of you have families where you're getting yelled at? Mom, Dad, get off the internet, right? It's slow, you're killing my game. This supports multiple users all at the same time, and it's smart, so it knows where to allocate that bandwidth. Ben, did I just get a cue? Right now, so here's another question. Good question. Does it come in other colors? Today it does not. This is the color. Depending if that's, I don't want to get in trouble, so folks back in San Jose, earmuffs. Depending on the, what our customers say, maybe. But today I think it's very clean looking with the white kind of off-white look, and it blends in very well. We have another question. So this is a question from Sean, and he wants to know how it compares to the other Wi-Fi systems out there. So the biggest thing is this is an AC3000 and with the 6 internal antennas. And you can just tell by the size. So the comparable Wi-Fi systems out there today, they look something like this. They're usually like a small, and this isn't one, this is a remote control, but they're usually small, kind of puck-like. And so they're a lot less they're low power. It could be anywhere from AC1200 up, but nothing even compares to the AC3000. B, they have to be line of sight. What does that mean? That means that each device has to see itself. So as I set up the main router and then the second unit, it needs to be able to see that first unit. Orbi doesn't need to do that. And then the final is just the tri-band, that dedicated channel, which essentially we like to say creates a virtual hard wire where it's that strong of a connection and the speed. Yeah, so another question is it compatible with other service providers? Absolutely. If you are currently a cable modem subscriber and you don't have voice via the provider, you just have a cable modem, one of our CM series or one of our gateways like the C7000 Nighthawk or the CM600 cable modem, I can simply just hook this up like I do my router today. Now if I have, let's say, Google Fiber, Vios, Uverse, or I have an Xfinity package where I've got voice and data through one box, then I still can hook this up in what's called access point mode. So you still use the box from your ISP to handle the actual routing, but this is where you get your power and coverage from. And it will still work then with your voice and your home security, all of those things. And the great thing about this is it's so smart. When you plug it in to set it up, it knows you're trying to set it up in access point mode. So if I was a Verizon Fios customer, it would know, and it just automatically sets it up as an access point. So a question was, how does it compare to other Nighthawk routers? Here's what I'm going to say is that it's apples and oranges a little bit. Wi-Fi system, whole home Wi-Fi system, it's a newer technology, really. Typically what we're used to is that standalone router and then using extenders. So what I tell people is the Nighthawk routers are awesome. You know, I'm biased, I think they're the best in the industry. And I showed you earlier that we know 85% of our Nighthawk owners get whole home coverage already today if it's in the center of the home. It's when it gets over onto the corner of the house and you have a large house or obstructions, it slows down and you get dead spots. So the comparison is, that's a good question. It's hard to answer. Apples and oranges, once again, I think they have their specific uses, and it's going to be your specific customer. Nighthawk is probably going to be your more advanced user that likes that look, wants more control, and doesn't have an extremely large home. Orbi's going to be someone that has larger family maybe, or they're doing a ton of streaming. They have, you know, that 4,000 square foot home, and they like the look. It's a softer look, obviously, than a Nighthawk. But it's like asking me if I had a favorite child. I love Nighthawk, it's awesome, and Orbi's awesome, and they both have a space within our lineup. So, good question. We've got another question on what is the launch plan for international markets. First time I've got stumped today. I do not have that answer, but we are doing a live Q&A on Thursday that we will answer that question. I'll make sure that we write it down and keep an eye on Facebook for that invite, because we will address that then. Charles has a question. Does it support 240 volt power? It does not today. It's based on 110 US. So your international versions will have the specific plug and will work on that current for that country. So Jonathan wants to know, does it have aggregate ports? So if you're familiar with our Nighthawk line, the X8 is the first router out there where we had aggregate gigabit ports. So if I had a Ready NAS, I could essentially double my throughput from my Ready NAS down to my TV to my router by using the 2 gigabit Ethernet ports combined. Orbi does not have that. It does have 4 standard gigabit ports. It also has a USB 2.0 connection, so I can hook up an external hard drive and via either Genie that a lot of people are used to or online, I can manage that and access that hard drive, essentially creating my own personal cloud. And as long as I have internet connection, I can access that anywhere in the world. So next vacation, I'm out on the beach chilling, boom, I can pull it up and back up all my photos that I'm taking, all of that. So Michael is looking for the specs. Good question. So once again, if you go to netgear.com/Orbi, we will have all the details there, as well as the detailed spec sheet, data sheets. There's a video. There's an opportunity to pre-order. If you press that button, everything's there on that website. So we just got a question about the firewall. And I don't want to get too technical on this, and I think we can address that Thursday on the live Q&A. But a firewall and security is definitely built in. We take that seriously at NETGEAR, obviously protecting our customers. It comes pre-secured. You're going to have parental controls. It will support VPN, all of those things. But the basics are obviously there from a protection standpoint. So we had a question, will it be available in the United Kingdom? It will, I just don't know when. Another good question from Sean. Sean, thank you. Sean wants to know, can it be wall mounted? Today, it cannot. There is no mount. It has rubber feet. Excuse me, I just pulled Peter Brady there, losing my voice. The rubber mounts are right here. And it just sits just like this. And that's the optimal position to have it in. There is no way to wall mount it today. You could put it on a shelf. So like if you had Sean, I don't know if you can see this, but let's say I had a shelf. I could put it on a shelf like this, right? Or like on my fireplace. I probably wouldn't want it on my fireplace, but it might look cool. I'm sorry, one more time. Yes, so another question is, does it support a guest network? Yes. And you can go in you'll be able to go in through Genie, or when the Arlo app launches, you'll be able to go in through that, and you'll be able to set up guest network, turn it on and off. And so you'll be able to, it'll have the same, really what Orbi is. It's going to have all of the same functionality as any of our products. It's just on steroids. And it's really, you have to experience it. You have to try it. That's the best way I can explain it. That I can sit here for hours and tell you how great it is, and tell you that I have over 50 connected devices at home on my network, whether it be smart devices, home alarms, my Arlo cameras, and it crushes. I mean, it blew my mind. And go Orbi. We're impressed, and I'm impressed. Real quick, I'm going to wrap up here. I wanted to thank Sean and Ben, who are out here in Minneapolis at the Mall of America with me. If you get a chance and you're in Minneapolis, check it out, the Best Buy Tech Home. It's located in the Rotunda. Also wanted to call out and thank everyone again back in San Jose, from our engineers, our product, and actually internationally, we have people across the world that worked on Orbi, but our marketing teams, our product management teams, and just the vision they had to put something like this together and fight tooth and nail to the end to get the best product we possibly could in a new space, and not do it just to get a product out there, but to do it right. And I think that's what we did. I really think we nailed it. So thanks again. This is Chris for NETGEAR signing off. Have a good one.